Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video we're going to talk getting started with Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Today we're taking a look at the Ogor Mawtribes and in particular the Thunderbellies subfaction of that army. Now in this video we're going to go through talk about what the subfaction rules give us for the army before looking at a couple of units to use as a starting point for the army. We'll then look at some other units we can use to expand upon those first couple of initial purchases before finally finishing off the video with a little sample army of 1000 points for you to use as some inspiration for starting your own Ogor Mawtribes army using the Thunderbellies Mawtribe subfaction. And so, the special rule we get for this subfaction is pretty simple. Friendly Thunderbelly Mournfang Pack units can run and still charge later in the turn. So just getting run and charge on Mournfang, this is a pretty solid one. It's pretty obvious what we're going to be wanting to take in this subfaction, so let's get cracking on into it. Now we are going to need a leader option for the army, and because we are generally going to be, pretty up in our opponent's face with a nice punchy force, I think the Frostlord on Stonehorn for me is the go-to. Now this model has the Frost Spear where it has a nice big damage 3, and it can also lower your opponent's attacks if they actually don't die from this model. Now the Stonehorn himself has a bunch of higher damage attacks that can get even better when he charges because he gets +1 damage on both his profiles, and he has a 5-up ward as well and some really unique monstrous rampages you can use to potentially even charge straight through enemy units and lines. Now, alongside this Frostlord, Mournfang Pack are of course going to be a central part of the army we're taking. Now, Mournfang Pack are coming in units of 2, and they have 2 different weapon options. From the Cullen Club Prey Hackers, which are 2-inch reach and Ren -1 with damage 2, or you can go for the Gargant Hackers Ren 2 and damage 3. Now, you're going to get an extra attack on the champion, and you got the Tusk from all the Mournfangs as well, which are a nice solid amount of attacks extra, all at damage 2. Now, these models, the champion as well, can get a little pistol, so a little bit of shooting, and you're going to get the cool Line Breaker rule, where you subtract 1 from wound rolls for attacks made with missile weapons that target this unit, and in addition, if the unit is targeted by attacks that are made by an enemy unit that receive the Unleash Hell command phase, those attacks only wound on the unmodified wound roll of a 6. So pretty cool stuff, like they're really good for tying up enemies, they've got good protection against shooting, so let's look at how we can support these models potentially as well down the line. And so the first one of these models is the Huskard on Thundertusk. First of all, this is a priest, and you can also get the Huskard on Stonehorn. I think both are good options. For me, I generally like to include, if I'm going to have 2 monsters, to have at least 1 of each. This enables me to be using both the generic monster rampages that Thundertusk can give always strikes last, and you've got the good old charge through enemy lines with the Stonehorn. So really nice utility having both of them. The Thundertusk's monstrous rampage can come in real big use. Now, as a priest, he's going to get access to a couple of prayers on his war scroll, which can either be healing or potentially giving bonuses to wound on your models. But he can also take from a prayer lore that the models have, or indeed a generic prayer from the generic universal prayers in the core book as well. Now, the Beast Riders Stonehorn variation or Thundertusk variation, both of them are going to have 2 riders that are going to be cheap in a Beastclaw Raiders army. If you're a general, it's Beastclaw Raiders, you're going to be able to take them as Battle Line. They'll lose the Behemoth keyword. This means they can go in things like a Battle Regiment, which makes them nice and useful, and they do retain a lot of the same abilities, like the Stonehorn with its 5-up ward and bonuses to charge on its damage, and the Thundertusk with its nice wintry chill ability, being able to throw snowballs at people and all of that good stuff. Now, the other unit to look at is the Icebrow Hunter. The Icebrow Hunter is really nice. He can outflank, he can come on from board edges and provide some nice disruption for the force. And alongside him, Frost Sabers just really fill in a nice role, as Icebrow Hunters can help them get some bonus charges. When they're coming in from the board edge, it can be working together as a nice little combo unit to really sort of tackle some backfield objectives or just disrupt your opponent's battle plans. And so here we have our sample army list for the Thunderbellies. Now we've got the grand strategy, take what's theirs. This means we're going to try and have more units of ours in our opponent's territory than they have. This is just pretty solid. It's going to mean we're trying to get across the table, which is really what this army wants to do with run and charge in it. Now, the Triumph we've gone for is inspired with 30 points under, so there's every chance we're getting that +1 to wound. And our leader is going to be a Frostlord on Stonehorn. He's going to be the general. He's got the command trait Touched by the Everwinter. This is cool because it makes him a priest. So we're getting the best of both worlds here. We can choose to have, the more fighty Stonehorn on the Frostlord here, while also getting a priest. And the prayer we're going to be going for is Keening Gale. Now we don't get the healing prayer and we don't get any of that, but we do get the generic prayers as well because he does gain the priest keyword, which is really nice. But he's going to take Keening Gale. This is a +3 inch move on one of your units. His artifact, the Vial of Manticore Venom, universal artifact for +1 wound on one of his weapons. This is really nice on a Frostbeard, being able to make the Frostbeard 2s and 2s if you use all-out attack as well. Mount trait for Rockmane Elder is going to be -1 to wound for all attacks that target him. Now, Battle Line, we've gone for 3 units of 2 Mournfang Pack. You could certainly bunch one up into 4 if you want, but I think just having 3 lots of 2 is going to provide you with the most coverage across the board. Everything wrapped up in a battle regiment, so it's a 1-drop force with 51 wounds. If you've got some ideas for a Thunderbellies army, let us know down in the comments below. And so that's the end of the video. We hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And while you're at it, why don't you drop a comment down below letting us know what you enjoyed about the video. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our little community here at Sinful Gaming, you can do so by joining our Discord server, which is linked down in the video's description. Also linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel, which is our Patreon and YouTube members. As Patreon and YouTube members, you'll get to help decide what content the channel focuses on when we're not focusing on new releases, and you'll also get your name shouted out at the end of the video. So a special thanks to all our Patreons: Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lyle, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Cure Dynamic, Anthony B, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Bloobs, Benjamin Suarez, Redman, Aaron DeHaven, and Kevin Bowman. And to our YouTube members as well: Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Ronya, Lock, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Man Killer, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, John Castle, Davis Weir, and James South. Lastly, if you'd also like to help support the channel in another way, you can do so by grabbing some channel merch off either our Teespring store or off our Ko-fi store, both of which, as well as the Patreon and YouTube members, are linked in the video's description. Once again, thank you all for watching. Stay safe everyone, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.